Hi, good morning. My name is Aditya Nahar. I'm an ex-student of Flame University. I'm here today to talk to you about financial scams. It's a very popular theme these days with a lot of the internet coming onto our mobile phones, with people not understanding what it means to get scammed. These are smaller scams. These are micro scams where somebody stole money from you, where you clicked on a link, you shared an OTP, or you've kept your password. Let me 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So I'm going to talk to you about financial scams. Let's get started. Have any one of you all seen this TV show in the past? Unfortunately, we're not doing this live, so I can't hear your answer yet. But this is a TV show from a Netflix show called The Tinder Swindler, right? Do you know the background of this? I don't know whether if you do, but if you don't, do Google it. It's a great television show to watch. A second show I want to ask you about is a show called Inventing Anna. Another great show. It's about how a girl pretended she was royalty and scammed her way into the elite circles of America. Have you seen the movie? If you haven't, have a look at it. Let me know what you make of it. And has it ever happened to any one of you? Have you been scammed? Yeah, obviously, right? The question is how much you lost, or were you the scammer, right? So let's get into it. What are scams? You might have your own sort of idea about what a scam is. You might colloquially say, oh, this is a scam. But have you defined what a scam actually is? I'm going to read out a definition for you. A scam is a deceptive scheme or trick designed to trick someone into giving away money, personal information, or valuables. They often rely on manipulation, misrepresentation, or false promises to deceive victims. In a scam, the victim is willingly scammed. Please understand, in a scam, you are willingly scammed. Whether you agree to it or not, you are aware of the scam that was happening, right? Let's get into frauds now, because the words scams and frauds are used very synonymously, right? A fraud is much broader. It encompasses various dishonest or illegal activities committed to gain something of value, such as money, goods, or services through deceit. Understand, a scam and a fraud, right? Fraud can involve a wide range of actions, including misrepresentation or lying, forgery, embezzlement, and identity theft. In a fraud, the victim will be unwillingly defrauded. You are not aware of this being a fraud. In a scam, you can see it happening right in front of you very often. Scams, I think, are a subset of fraud as they involve deceptive tactics to achieve fraudulent goals. The slide is now showing you the difference between a scam and a fraud. Have a look at it. Take a picture. Scams are theft of funds with your permission or knowledge. Very, very important. A fraud is financial theft without your permission or without your knowledge. The scams here, there, and everywhere. It's a phishing scam, identity scam, investment scams, money lending scams, dating scams, payment and UPI scams, the most popular ones. And as we started recording this video, I promise you there were 5 more scams created. Let's talk about 2 or 3 scams in details. Identity scams. Identity scams are effectively people stealing your identity and pretending to be someone who they are not. This could happen when it comes to dealing with money, dealing with land, and dealing with any form of a contract. Money lending scams are those scams where you lend money with the hope of a return at a very, very high interest rate. Usually, the money or the interest rarely comes back. Lastly, and let's spend some time on this, are payment and UPI scams. Payment and UPI scams are nothing but people gaining access to your financial information via deceit, via trickery, and via lies. We all use PhonePe, we all use Google Pay, we all use Bheem. These are nothing but apps which work on a system called the UPI. The UPI is known as a Unified Payment Interface. A UPI scam is nothing but taking money from your bank account directly and transferring it to somebody else's bank account. Why do people get scammed very easily? Because it's so simple now, right? You typically need to share one OTP, put in your PIN, which is 100% of the time a very simple PIN to guess. It's rare to find somebody putting complicated UPI PINs. There is a tendency of your phone PIN and your UPI PIN to be similar or the same. So these were some forms of scams. Many more forms of scams which you can sort of search for them and discuss during our masterclass. Let's now focus on financial scams. There's financial scams, property scams, security scams, rare objects, and commodities. What are financial scams? There are high yield products which basically offer you a very, very high rate of return and in the promise that you'll get your money back, if not double or triple it. There are chit fund scams. In India, chit funds are a very popular way to mobilize money, which led to a lot of scams. I don't want to take any names, but just search chit fund scam in India. You will search, there will be a lot of hits that come up in your search. Property scams. In India, there is always some family member or someone in your friend circle or your close set of friends who've been scammed by property. Either the papers were not correct, either the house never got delivered, etc., etc. It's very popular, can be done by a lot of people, and involves a lot of money. Stock market scam. Stock market scams are famous now. Harshad Mehta was one of the most popular stock market scams. It's open to interpretation. However, it is known as a scam. There's a very, very good documentary called Scam 1992. Scams are evolving, and the best way to understand scams is to read the books, if any, or watch the TV shows. Another form of popular scams are rare object scams, paintings, fake art, and diamonds. What is the true value of a painting? It's determined by what the seller wants and what the buyer is willing to pay. Remember, what the seller wants and the buyer is willing to pay. There is no discoverability of the price, there is no liquidity for such objects, etc. So who truly knows what the price of a painting is? Along with that, there are diamond scams. Do you really know what a diamond is real or not? With the advent of lab-grown diamonds, these scams seem to be reducing because the price of diamonds has actually gone down. Lastly, commodity scams. A lot of scams are sold in the form of you're actually striking oil. Today is one of the most popular commodities to drill for, right? It powers almost all our lives in some form or the other. Plastics, petrochemicals, medicines, our vehicles, our airplanes, all of it. A lot of times people say, this land, you've actually struck oil. When people say that, it actually means you're going to make a lot of money out of it. Very often, you don't strike oil, and it was just another form of a scam. It might be weird to see that there are different kinds of scams. It basically involves fundamentally lying about what you're actually purchasing or what the underlying asset actually is. Like most scams, it's very hard to spot, but however, if you're armed with certain questions, if you're armed with a certain mind frame, you can ask these questions and possibly get answers. Why high returns? So whenever you see high returns, your radar or antenna should go up. Short time. So high returns, short time. Remember, whenever somebody says high return, short time, please run away. Aggressive selling. Very, very common in scams and sometimes frauds is people are aggressively pursuing you. They're aggressively selling to you. So you need to be aware of high return, short time, and aggressive selling. Another important aspect to look at it is a very intelligent argument or very big words. Just remember, playing stupid and not committing to anything is the biggest tool you can have to avoid getting scammed. You can effectively say, I don't know, I don't understand, can you please explain? I don't know, I don't understand, can you please explain? You do this enough, and I promise you, the scammer will stop wasting their time and they will realize you're too stupid to fraud or scam. You're not, you're actually smart. You did not accept the argument that you did not buy the argument that they were selling, and you kept your money and your time safe. Another very common way of luring people into scam is to make sure that they know people around you. They will target you through your friend, through your uncle, through your aunt, who also do this. Remember, all these things are very, very important. Who you buy from, what you buy from, what you sell, and what are you buying are very, very important. Lastly, and most importantly, remember in life, whether it's scams, whether it's any other aspect of your life, if something is too good to be true, Just ask yourself, why am I getting so lucky? There is no reason for God to bless me today. Why am I getting so lucky? I'm going to recap these all over again. High return, short time, aggressive selling, intelligent arguments and big words. My friend, uncle, aunt also did this. Or it's too good to be true. Ask these questions every time you're doing any transaction which you're uncomfortable with. So scams can happen to the best of us. I don't know whether you recognize any of these people. Do you? I hope you do. There's Elton John, there's Robert De Niro, there's Amitabh Bachchan, and Sting. What's common in all four of them? One, they're very famous actors, performers, singers. Two, they've all been scammed. Yeah, they've all been scammed without exception. Sting and Elton John were actually scammed by people they were closest to, their agents, their family members, people who sold them bad products, people who literally stole money from them. Why? Because they didn't have time to look at the money that they were earning. They did not invest the time to understand what it means to have a return, what it means to have a risk-free return. Very often, people only take the risk without any return. One of my mentors is Mr. Kuntal Shah. He's also a professor and a teacher at Flame. He teaches in the Flame Investment Lab. It's a great slide of how to avoid scams. Trust but verify. You're seeing this mind map on the screen in front of you. Remember, trust but verify. I'm going to talk about 3 or 4 of these. First one is know your seller and verify all their credentials. Very important. Avoid investments with less or complicated information. Very important. Be cautious of illiquid products and very long-term contracts. Avoid investing large amounts if unsure. Have an independent financial advisor or trusted friend to guide you. Facts are threatening to those investing in fraud. Very nice quote. There are 15 more points which you can pause this video and then see at length. Now, how do you avoid being scammed? You have to trust the right person, understand incentives, keep it simple, stupid, or KISS. Remember, as simple and stupid as possible. It's actually a weapon. There are no such things as high and safe returns. Focus on return of capital, not return on capital. Again, focus on return of capital, not return on capital, or popularly known as ROI, return on investment. I want to talk to you about all these images again. There's Sam Bankman-Fried, there's Bernie Madoff, there's the founder of Theranos, there is Satyam founder Ramalingam Raju, there is a Baba who claimed to have created a new world called Kailasa, right? These were all smart people who scammed innocents out of billions of dollars, right? Some of them have been caught. Some of them are still at large. Some of them have been convicted as well. Very interesting. There's a tendency to assume that if you're on the cover of a magazine, you've made it in life. Your friends will call you, your parents will finally be proud of you, you're the toast of town. In all social circles, people will come and talk to you. However, Forbes has now revealed the 10 most dubious people in its 30 under 30 list. You can see the image. Some names are familiar, some aren't. Remember, Forbes magazine sometimes is a contraindicator. Just because they come on a magazine cover, just because they get published in newspapers, it doesn't mean what they're saying is true. Remember, trust but verify. In conclusion, again, always trust but first verify. If something feels too good to be true, dive deeper. Understand why. Ask the basic questions. Don't be afraid to look stupid, ever. There's no need to feel intelligent. There is no reward in understanding quickly. There's a reward in understanding well and understanding deeply. Never trust figures of authority blindly. Always ask why. And keep asking why till you're convinced. And even if you don't get the right answers, you can let it go. Lastly, never ever trust cover of page magazines and front pages of newspapers. They have an agenda to sell. They will sell it to you. You have to ask why. These are a couple of movies I would really recommend. I mentioned 1 or 2 of them in the video. The first one is Rogue Trader. The second one some of you must have seen is the Fire Festival, of how a team of 4 or 5 people organized a fake concert, The Wolf of Wall Street, very famous. Catch Me If You Can. It's about one of the youngest scamsters who eventually went and started working for the FBI. Scam 2003, which is the movie I mentioned to you earlier. Scam 92, Scandal, and watch The Inventor. It's about a lady called Elizabeth Holmes who completely faked blood reports and blood tests and raised again billions of dollars. And in conclusion, this is a meme and it's a very popular one because a Nigerian scam and a king and a princess from Nigeria always wanted to give you money. We used to get emails, some of us still do, wanting money from you. In conclusion, you have to be aware of what you're saying, you have to be aware of what you're doing, and you always have to trust but verify. Thank you.